one you're talking about? This
Yes.
one you're telling.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so this one here, it's just actually having the username and password action, and then this is, let me just open it here. This is again a part of that action. I'm not sure. What did you get? Can you
I
just
just
share your
got.
screen? If you want, you can just share your screen and show me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the screen. I only have this entry in the beginning. I just created these two as variables from clicking this button,
Okay.
but I don't see a similar structure like yours.
Okay, let me just quickly open mine. So I know. Okay, you are editing your username and password because I don't see it here. Is it right? Okay, and
Yeah.
you have your account.action. Okay, and after that you have your catalog.action. Okay, so what happens is your sign in action, and I think, okay, got it. So your catalog.action has not, okay, it is recorded, right? Okay, all you get is the only difference is you don't get that gif file that is getting recorded in your action. Can you just expand the fish one, the fifth one, the fifth transaction? Can you just expand that? Yeah.
This is just
Oh, okay.
that
Okay.
we
I
have.
think, yeah, got it. So in that case, I think you're in your browser while you're recording it, you don't get that the extra GIF thing, but which is that's fine because all we need is just the request. That GIF is something like a downloadable resource, which is not required most of the time. So we can actually disable it or we can remove it. But in your case, you have actually recorded the account.action is where you get your credentials part where you're going to enter that. And then your catalog.action is where you're going to check the catalogs. So in that case, yeah, your script works fine, no issues. Just select the change the request type to manual. No, for the next one, catalog.action. Yeah, select user manual definition. Yeah. So this is another request where you're going to send, where you're going to request the catalogs. It's a kind of a get request where you're going to read what is in the catalog.action request. That's it.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Thank you.
script works fine. Yep. Yep. You can stop sharing. Thank you. Okay, I think I can see my screen now. And there is one more question which I got. What was the question again? Mm. And it has options like like simulate like LR. Sorry, Vamshi, I don't understand the question. What's the question again? And it has options like simulate like
Yeah,
LR.
for parameterization, when we do in load runner, we
Mhm.
just check like simulate parameters, no, just to check what parameters are passing for different users. So, is there any kind of option
No,
available
we don't
in
have
your?
that. We don't have that. See, we can't exactly have the same options or features that we have in load runner because then it will be like a kind of load runner, right? So every developer or every organization will have their own um, set of idea in their mind. So you can't expect the same thing what you can see in LR to me. So again, that's the learning curve for you. So you're going to learn the same idea, but you're going to do it in a different tool, different platform. So that's about the tool. Okay. Thank you. Anyways, thanks, Vamshi, for the question. Yeah, because we do have that myth. We keep on asking questions like this, but yeah, I suggested you. Yeah, even I'm asking the question again. I just recorded one action for all these username, password, clicking login. How do I provide the supply data? SP, I'm really sorry. I don't get your question. How do I provide the supply data from file into FX? I did the same thing, right? If I'm not wrong, I did went here.
Um,
I created one. Sorry.
yeah, I figured out.
You
I
got
was
it, right?
right. I was looking at the wrong place.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Just go here, click on the file, and then click on this three dots. Get your file, and then you should be able to, yeah, get your file. Then you should be able to do it using the comma thing. And yeah, that should be fine. Thank you. Thanks for the question. Any other questions for the question? Yeah, I should answer her.
Yeah,
Fine.
can you open
Yeah,
just? Yeah, hi. Sorry to interrupt. I
yeah,
see
go ahead.
there is an option like test. Can I know what exactly it is?
Is it, sorry, test? This one.
Yeah, yeah.
That is to check your expression. That's it. So if you want to see, say for example, the item that you name used here, right? So this is to just confirm that whether we have used the right name. So if you go back here for the first item, if I want to check test, I can use what expression I'm going to use it. So credential.username is what I'm going to change it here, right? So that's what I'm using it here. And
Okay,
if I want
thank
to
you.
change actual user, yep, I can apply and evaluate. So what value will come for me if I want to use that? So that's simple thing. I again, if you're using it, if you're replacing it to the proper value, then automatically it should work. But again, when you're having like too many values, then yeah, in that case you can use it. That should be fine. But if I use this one, yep. Anyways, we have just one value, so it should be fine. In
So
case, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
when we provide the data from the file, what do
Mhm.
we expect in that grid for the post parameters?
Sorry.
Any changes in the values column?
Just a moment, I missed it. Coming back here. Just a moment. Let me just quickly check this one page. Okay. So when you are doing, I've set a random order here, right? So in that case, if I'm just choosing this one, I can find which value will come for which user. So if I'm changing just the virtual user, I'll get the same value. But if I'm changing the page, I get a different value. For request, I get the previous one, and stay in same request, I get a different one. So this is something like which you can test which variable will be replaced while you are doing your test, right? And sorry, coming back to questions, can you ask it again? Sorry.
When we provide data from the file,
Yeah.
what happens to the value column in the post parameters section? Any changes take place there?
You mean here in
Yeah.
this? Okay. It's same thing. See, you are just replacing it here. That's it. And you have to give the name. See, what happened is, let me quickly do it. I'm not sure whether this user is available, so that's the reason I'm just deleting it and refresh. Okay. So your question is, you are changing your file. Is that right? Uh, so what happens is you are bringing some file here, and automatically the value gets changed. But no matter what, if you are referring it here, then that's the value that's going to be used here. So if the values in your files changes, based on that, you have to change your post parameters. Did that answer
Oh,
your question?
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So if you're changing a value in your parameter file, then automatically it should change. I mean, or you should remove it. If you're not using it, you have to remove it. If you're using it, then you have to keep it. That's it. Okay. And that's about the parameters. And we can use another way of doing the parameters as well. Say, for example, this is a kind of a quite complex way. Let me just duplicate it so that I can quickly show this to you. It's not just about only the username and password. You can actually use several other options as well. So that's the thing here. So for example, I'm using cats here, right? In case if I want to make some changes, I can do it very well. For that, let me go back to my application here. So if I go back to my application, I can see fish as the options, right? So let me create a little file. So I'm going to create the values. So for example, fish, and under fish, I have these numbers. So let me just copy it. And then if I choose this particular item, I have two more items in it, which is I have two more items in it. So I can choose these items as well. I can paste it. So now I have under fish, under this particular product, I have two items, right? And then same applies to the other items. Say, for example, if I'm choosing this particular item, I have EST3. So just to give you a quick glimpse. So if I'm choosing the second item, I have EST3. And then where am I? Yep, here. So I'm choosing F. Oh, sorry. Let me just copy this one. Going back here, and if I'm choosing this one, I have yield t minus 4. P and paste, and then I have my fish as the original one, right? So now let me show you how to replace this in the right place. So let me save this one, new load training, add that. Let me check for the variables folder and items minus param. And I'll just change it to all types and save it as CSV. CSV dot CSV save. Yep, I'm done. So I'll go back to my near load. I'll create another parameter file. So I'm going to create another parameter file, and which will have the file name as items. And then let's bring the file in here, which is items parameter.csv. Let me separate it with the delimiter, which is the comma. I'm not going to use the first line as my column heading, but I have to give the items here. So, which is product, or else like main. Let me keep it as main, and then I can keep this as product. I'll keep this as my item. So the reason is we have to know what item we're going to change. So based on that, we have to give it. And let me click OK, apply. And now we'll change this one. So wherever we find this cat, so either you can change like this, or else what you can do is copy this cats, go back to this search button, and you can search in the request definition globally. Click on next, search for the value, add dollar open brackets, and you get to see the main item here. Click on next, finish. So this will actually show you what are all the items we have in this particular script. So if you see here, we have got this items in the next one as well. But let's see. Let me replace this one. And then, yes, inside the referrer as well, I get to see this item. So I'm going to click on. So for example, you don't normally see this advanced parameters by in the first chance. So what we have to do is we have to get this item in here, and then we have to click on replace, and yeah, all the values is replaced. And now here you have to change the product. So let me copy this again, the same thing. Go back to the search and replace, click on next, get the value, and either you can click dollar bracket, or else you can click on this three dots. It will take you to the parameters and the item dot product. Click on OK and click on next, click finish, and this will show you the item. So I'm going to click on replace. Again, in the request parameter in the referrer, I have it. Yep, click on replace, and then the item has been ordered. And now we are in the work item ID. So now we have to change the work order, the item. So click on search, click OK. Again, search here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the item. So item, click OK, next, finish, replace. Yep, I've got the other item as well. Replace. Now I'm done. So now the parameter part is working fine. Let me quickly do a quick run. And again, there is another option we have. If you want to run multiple iterations, in load run, we do have the runtime settings where we can run the actions for several items. Same thing we have here. You cannot run the init and end multiple times, like the same thing you have for that. There are some things, there are some things which we can compare with load run, but not everything. So init and end will not run multiple times. They run for only once a time. But the actions you can run it multiple times in your validation. So go to advanced. You get your advanced window, and you can select your play item here. Again, I'm choosing like 5 items here. Let me just confirm whether I have chosen the right item which I want to choose. So user path 1. Yep, this is what I'm going to choose. Let me just change this name. You can change the name of your script as well. So parameters minus underscore testing. Sorry. Let me go back again. Let me quickly check. Yep, I do have 5 items. Do a quick start checking. And this will actually help me to check whether I have changed the items properly, because we can actually check the variables as well. I'll show you that here. Once everything is completed, let me click on this variables section. So here you can see what all the items you have used for your first iteration. So the first iteration, I have chosen fish. The item product is FISW01 and the item is EST minus 1. If I click on my second item, so if I click on this top thing, that is, you can see, go to the next iteration in the loop. If I click on it, it'll take me to this second item. Yes, FISW01 and the item is EST02. The third one, which is EST3, and then the fourth one is EST4. Fifth one is EST1. Yep. So that will actually help you to understand your iteration and whether you have used all your items. So with that, I think we are done with the parameters part. So any doubts so far in terms of parameters, in terms of substituting using files or everything, just let me know. Okay, I don't find any message. Thank you. Thank you. I think everybody is clear with that. Fine. Apart from this file section, so you might ask me like whether do we have only the files, only the files to bring it. No, we do have several other inbuilt neoload options. Like we do have counters. In case if you want to use counters, yes, we can use it. Can start from any number, and you can start from like 0 to 100. You can increment the value to 1, and you can replace this name in your script, which means you can actually use this numbers in your script. Like LRA, do we have a time option? Yes, we do have it. Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you. We do have counter, we do have list where you can give the items and then you can use it in your script. File, we saw just now saw that. And if you want to use your SQL, if your databases, yes, you can very well use it. You can connect your database and then you can get your end value and then you can use it. And then you have your random integer where most of this are something like what we see in load runner. We can use a random integer. It'll just populate any other random number from this list and then you can use it in the random variable part. String, yes, the minimum length, which is like if you use 5, it will be like, for example, A, B, C, D, E, that's a 5 length, and then until a maximum of 10 length, you can use it. For example, if you are using some test name or something, you can use this option very well. Constant string, yes, you can use this if you want to use the same variable for all your values. You can give the value here, and then you can replace this in your parameters. You can use the same value wherever you want to replace it. And this password thing is something like it's nothing different, but all you're seeing is if you're using some value here, it won't be displayed. So that's the special about parameters. Nobody's able to see, but until otherwise they click on this button. If you click on this button, then they can see this value. That's the only thing. Date, yes, as you asked me, we can use the time options. Yes, we can actually set up the parameter, the pattern as well. In fact, Neolode has given default parameters like DD, MM, YY, whatever the options that we want. But if you want to replace it, yes, we can very well customize it. If you do not want to give the name, I can very well use this as option. I can very well use it in my scripting. But yes, we do have both date and time and even milliseconds, microseconds as well. We do have that options. We can even use that option to use it. We can increment it and we can do whatever we want to do it. And then the current date is if you want to use, for example, in your application, if they want your current date as part of your application, yes, in that case, you can use this current date. If you want to use a
Vasant,
time and date, you can
here I
use it.
have a
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah, go ahead.
With the increment value, right? Uh,
Hmm.
can we?
Yeah.
Is it similar to load runner?
Yeah, same. Yeah, you can increment your value. If you want to
Okay.
increment for 1 second, then you can increment. Yeah, any number of you can increase it to second, minutes, hour, day,
No, no,
month,
right.
anything you can do it.
Okay. Okay, got it, got it.
So what is the question basically?
No, like in load runner, we will be having an option offset where we can where we can change the date, future date. We can select it in the date and time section. So I want to know whether
Future
it is
date.
similar to that
Future
of.
date, you mean? Future date, you mean like?
Like by default we are giving the pattern, right, date pattern. Here we have set it will display the current date, but if what if I need to use the date which after 2 days, like which is 18th of March, to stimulate a real world scenario.
Okay, see, actually, we can use in whatever methods we want. Say, for example, if you want to see, this is something, this increment value that you're seeing here is something like a parameter, right? So, in your testing, if you want to keep on increasing your time, you can do it. But if you want to set up some date, like say, for example, if you want to set up a particular date, a static date, something like 18 for all your users. Yeah, I can even set that. You can just, you don't need to set up any increment value, then automatically the same value is going to be used. And you can remove this part, like for example, you can just keep only your, what is that? Sorry. You can just keep only your date and time, and then you can even use that. So that should not be a problem. I mean, once you start using it, you know how does it work, and you can use it really very well. So that should not be a problem. If you want to use select a particular data, previous data, anything, you can just select that a future date. And if you want to select a past date, yes, you can very well use that. So that should not be a problem. Okay.
If you have to do
Thanks.
current date minus 2 days, is there an option to do that?
You can choose it here, right? Why do you need to write anything? Like you can just choose the direct date directly from here.
Yeah, actually, what actually the scenario is like if there is we are running a test, okay,
Mhm.
daily basis, so automatically it will take the current system date and minus two or plus or two minus two. Actually, they are
Oh,
trying
okay.
to say
I
that.
got it. I got your point. So in that case, yes, we can do it. But for that, we need to write a JavaScript, JScript for that. So using the JScript, what you have to do is you have to get current date, take a current date, and then you have to subtract your date, and then you can use that. In this one, what you're seeing as a parameter, you can't do that, but you can do that as using a JavaScript. I understood what your question is. So anytime when you're running your testing, say for example, if I can fetch the current date from, but from that I have to use 2 days from there, or I have to use 2 days past, something like that, right? Yes, we can do that, but you have to use a JavaScript for that, the custom code for that. This parameter will just do only the increment or decrement in that way, but it won't help you to okay, maybe we can do one thing. Okay, can subtract the day, like for example, you can just check, you can't decrease the date, we can just only try positive numbers. So if you want to remove, if you want to try any dates backwards, you have to write a custom code for that. You can try 2 days after from this. Say for example, if you can actually fetch your current date, let me try. Okay, you can even do that as well. Okay, got it. So in days, yes, can do -2 as well, but not in the date, but in the current date you can do. From the current date, you can do 2 days backwards and 2 days forward. Okay, I don't think you
Okay.
can't do 2 days minus. You can do that, yeah. So that should work fine. So you can do that, and you can delete the days as well. Yep, days works, and then I have answered the question, right?
Yeah,
Minus
thank you.
works,
Thank you.
minus
Yes.
works, yeah. So not in the date, but in the current date. Sorry, yeah, I missed it. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. And yeah, I think I have answered the question as well. I think it works in minus. So past dates works, past day, past month, past year also works. Yeah. So Sivamani has one question for downloading Neural. It's asking company email ID, but I don't have. Is there any way? I have sent you a location, bro. Let me just share that. Sivamani, I'm sending you a link. Just raise an access. I'll give you the access for that. You can download it from there. So random UID is something like a random value which comes from your application. So you can generate this one based on your application. You have to actually create a correlation, then you can bring it. Shared queue, I'm really sorry I haven't used it, so please don't ask me about shared queue. I haven't used it. JavaScript, yeah, this is the one thing which I was telling you. So we can actually use JavaScript from here as well, or you can use a custom script from your code. So that will help you to make any changes which you want to do. And yeah, that's about the parameters. What's predictable parameterization? What's that predictable parameterization? Okay, predictable is something. Okay, let me get that for you. But in which one did you see that predictable thing? I think it will come for only few of that thing. If I'm not wrong. Okay, see, predictable is something like it won't be in a completely random fashion. You can actually predict it what value will come. So that that will be like a very simple kind of value. So that's what the predictable randomization is. And again, this random UID is something related to your application, so you won't be able to say that this is what is going to you're going to use it, something like that. So again, random UUID is something like it will help you to connect your application, or this is something like internal to your application. So I can't actually give you a proper example, but this will help you. I mean, like most of the times you won't use it actually, but if it comes in, then you can use this random UID here. It's something like a universal ID or something like that. That's a random UID is all about. Shivamani, I'll give you the access. Just a moment. Yep, now you might get access to it. And then yeah, that's about the parameterization parameters. And let me just quickly check any other doubts. Okay, fine. Okay, again, for string as well, it's the same thing. Ajay, I gave you access, Ajay. String, again, the same thing. So when you select predictable randomization, you'll get something kind of a predictable one, which is like a very humanly understandable way. So that's the string thing, predictable when it comes to predictable, and that's about the parameters. So same thing, which I want to tell you about this one. So here in this value, so again,